Hi, Josie. Thanks for joining me today. You have just taken part in the course, my latest SEO course, and I was just interested in your feedback on how you got along and what it meant to you, how it's helped you in your business.
Yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic. I've said to my partner quite a few times, if I hadn't been doing this, I wouldn't have been able to even start doing SEO. And I've known for a while that I needed to do it, but I just found the whole thing quite frightening. I'm on Wix. I've built my own websites on Wix, and sometimes on Wix there a thing pops up and says, "Hey, your SEO is not working," and so I knew that there were things that I needed to do, and I'd look at all that they have this like checklist of things that you need to do. And before I worked with you, the whole thing made my head spin. I was frightened that if I did do any of it, I would mess up my site and get into a real state where I'd have to hire somebody to fix it. So working with you is brilliant because you made it easy for me to understand all the different technical terms. I just basically lost my fear. And in fact, it was when I actually started to put into practice everything that you taught, it wasn't as difficult as I've been thinking. And because you broke it down step by step, and we had homework each week, and I did my homework each week. To be honest, for me, it wasn't the sort of thing. I didn't think, oh great, I'm going to do my SEO. It was more like, okay, Josie, come on, do your homework, because I'd got this idea it was going to be difficult and hard, and it wasn't in the end. So, but I did really put into practice everything you taught, and I thought, if I'm doing this, it's no good just coming to the classes or watching video and not doing it. I have to put it into practice. So that felt important. But yeah, it was so much easier than I had anticipated.
Good.
And I love the way that you hold our hand through every step. And anything that we think is complicated, it's not to you, and you just go, oh well, you do this. So it kind of, yeah, it was absolutely brilliant, and I really would recommend it to anybody.
You. Well, it can be very overwhelming, can't it? It's just that overwhelm of it being technical, it being about your website, and there's terminology. But I think if you can break it down into bite-sized pieces and actually understand what the relevance is of each of those pieces, which is what it took me ages. I really worked hard on trying to gather all that information and understand the impact. Once you understand that and you got it in smaller sections, and it's much easier to roll that out at a piece of time. And I know how much your website has improved from an SEO point of view. So as you transfer, as you move on, you will become more and more visible because Google will be picking up your website and showing you as the celebrant for your area, for your style of work. So I'd like to applaud you as well for actually, because it's very, the hardest thing I think is to sign up for some of these, sign up for a course, because you don't know whether you need it, whether it's going to be too daunting or whatever. But once you're on the course, you have got to do some work, because it's your website that needs improving. But once you've understood that and can do it in smaller sections, and you've done that, you've sat there every week and you've gone through everything that I've shown you. But the beauty is you can come back to it. So you can come back to it next year, the year after, or next month, and it's all sitting there waiting for you. So that if you want to refresh your mind, do something else, it's there to help lead you through again. So I'd like to applaud you, Josie, for actually getting on and doing, taking the lead.
I feel quite proud of myself, actually.
You should be.
Because I think the change from where I thought I would be, even though you did make it so much easier, I do feel proud of, because I really put it into action.
Yeah.
And there was another kind of big impetus for me that was a deciding factor that made me think, yes, I'm going to invest in this course. And that was that I'm also right now, I'm building a new site from scratch. And I just started a tiny bit before working with you. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to leave it completely until I finished my training with you. And I'm so glad I did, because otherwise I would have had to redo it. And now I've been able to just follow all the steps. I mean, I haven't finished it, I've only done 2. But I'm following the steps.
Good.
And I will review our course because there was a lot in it. And it's great that it's all there for me to return to, rather than, I don't have to worry to try and hold it all in my head.
Yeah, you don't need to do that at all. Well, thank you, Josie. Thanks so much. And thanks for giving the feedback as well, because I think it just helps others. Because you don't know what you don't know with things like search engine optimization.
Absolutely.
And actually coming onto the course and taking that leap, you've actually found out what you can work on, where you can improve your site, which is invisible maybe to, you know, you had a beautiful site, but it just wasn't working from an SEO point of view. So
it wasn't, was it? No.
Now you've been able to put those things into place, and you've still got a beautiful website, but you've got one that's working for you now, and that's the difference.
It's working.
But well done, and thank you, Josie, so much for taking
my
part
pleasure.
in the course. And good luck with everything.
Thank you, Justine.
Thank you.